Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Global Innovation Field Trip, and welcome to this panel discussion, which is all about guiding the next generation, and particularly how educators can harness AI for skill development. My name is Dr. Melissa Butt. I am the founder of Discovery STEM Education, which is a non-profit educational organisation based in the United Kingdom. We're an international organisation and we also have an AI academy. I am so happy to see that there are people here who are from the UAE AI Educators organisation that I am part of. Lovely to see those people, and it's really great to see some of my colleagues from the National Centre of Artificial Intelligence group in Pakistan as well. And welcome to all of the other people who have joined us as well. It's great to see people from different countries, and it's really great that we've got a group of people who are either thought leaders, educators in AI, or educators who are really interested in making sure that they make the right decisions with AI and support young people with AI. We've also got some AI academics here, and we've got people who are adopting AI in industry or have academic AI industries. But I think we also may have a student joining us today as well. So we've got a really great group of people from different backgrounds who've all got this same interest in how we can support young people with AI. Could I just ask everyone to introduce themselves and just say a little bit about themselves and what their interest is in AI? So next to me is Paula. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Paula Intravaya. I'm in California, and I'm the co-founder of Cloud Club Collective, and our interest in AI has to do with imagination and creativity. So we develop tools and techniques to develop the creative practice in folks so that we can have imagination for good. And so that will be the lens that I'm participating in this panel.
Thank you, Paula. And over to you, Galit.
Hi, I'm Galit Zamler from Israel, and I'm the founder of Entrepreneurship for Kids program and Hackathon, experimental hackathons. And we integrate AI in our program, entrepreneurship program, and hackathons, which I will talk about later.
Thank you, Galit. And over to Nishka.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nishka Lal, and I'm currently a student at Georgia Tech studying computer science with the threads in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. And I'd love to talk to you guys about the lens of AI in education as a student themselves.
Thank you, Nishka. Jake, are you going to be taking part in our discussion as well?
I'm going to listen. I'll be very honest with you. I'm very, very pessimistic and very unhappy. So I hope somebody will give me good news.
I hope so too. Anuruddha.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Anuradha. I'm from India and I'm using AI in cinema education because I'm a professor who is bringing cinema and films in the medical education. So I use AI in cinema education. I'm a Global Creative Academy in India. Thank you.
It's so interesting. We're very, very blessed to have you here. Fatima, my friend and colleague from the AI Educators Group in the United Arab Emirates. Lovely to have you here. Tell us a little bit about
everyone. I am an educator, AI educator, currently working with GEMS Education, and I have been teaching in UAE from past 13, 14 years now. I'm a tech passionate, tech enthusiast, and I have been leading on innovation in AI from a long time now. And I'm also a big advocate of ethical use of AI. At the moment, I'm looking at using AI for creativity and critical thinking.
Thank you, Fatima. And Kartik, who welcomed me onto the UAE AI Educators Board a couple of years ago. Lovely to have you here. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Melissa, for having me. Following your great work over the last couple of years. My name is Karthik, and I think I've got a good mix to be in this group. So I'm also a AI practitioner. So like I've developed solutions and products for education industry as well as for other industries. And I'm also an educator who has used and leveraged AI tools. I've written books on AI for Indian curriculum as well. Right now, I'm in Riyadh as part of a project I'm doing here. But yeah, I'm happy to contribute in the discussion from the educator lens as well as an outsider lens. So I think I'll be happy to offer both the perspective.
Thank you so much, Kartik. And Susie, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Susie Murphy, founder of Kid Invent Mentors, and we help teach kids innovation skills that are transferable with sprinkling AI in that as a collaborator in innovation thinking.
Thank you, Susie. And Antonius.
Hi
Welcome.
everyone, I'm Antonius here. I'm from Korea Global, Indonesia. We use AI for developing innovation and creativity for teachers, students, and also for professional and industry. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you. Great to have you here today, Antonius. And Radhakrishnan.
Hi, good morning and good evening to most of the leaders who are shown in the gallery here. I'm Radhakrishnan. I use AI in terms of preparing our curriculum, also working on the rubrics methodology for the students. I'm a tech evangelist more than an AI educator, working on the AI platforms and working with various vendors on the AI services itself.
Thank you. Aisha.
Hi everyone, I'm Aisha Rahman from Pakistan and I am a graduate in international relations. I use AI in creating content for LinkedIn and other stuffs like I kind of for freelancing. So you can say that I am a freelancer and uses AI for that.
Thank you, Aisha. And last but not least, Rishali.
Racheli. Racheli, are you with us?
Can you hear me? Okay. If you're able to unmute yourself, just speak out and then we can do your introduction. So welcome everyone. And we've got a few different questions that are aimed at different types of people from different types of backgrounds. We'll try to aim to have around 3 answers per question. And if you could try to keep your answer to no more than 1 minute, that would be great. I will just give you the sign, the finger sign, if you've gone over 1 minute. So if you just keep an eye on me as well when you're speaking, that would be wonderful. Okay, so first of all, and if you could raise your digital hand if you think you've got an answer to the question. So how do you define the most important skills that the next generation need to thrive in an AI-driven world? How do you define the most important skills that the next generation needs to thrive in an AI-driven world? Anybody got any ideas and insights to start us off with that question? Hey, Jay, thank you. Go for it.
Okay, this is why I'm pessimistic. It used to be education was you knew a bunch of facts. What is the capital of Brazil? Now with AI, facts don't matter. And what matters is, can you understand the process, the thinking? How do you actually solve a problem step by step? And that's difficult. And so many students are used to just memorizing facts, and switching them to learning a process may be very hard.
Thank you very much for starting us off with that, Jake. Galit, you've put your hand down now, but I think your hand went up, your real hand went up just after Jake.
Yes, thank you. I think, and the more I think about it, I think the most important skill is being creative, because we have everything. We have all tools, we have all knowledge. Now we need to combine them in a creative way, or use them in a creative way. So that's what I think.
Thank you, Galit. Nishka, your hand went up next. It'll be good to hear from a student, university student.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of them. I do think that students are very used to memorizing a lot of in their education lives, but at the same time, I do think that AI allows for them to go away from that memorization and, as Gallet was mentioning, become more creative and be able to kind of be more well-rounded and use the information that they have on their AI platforms to do better. And I think that's a really important skill is to know how to have something that's very like full of answers and know what to do with it.
So kind of like a shift in spending your time from memorization to being more creative and getting the basic groundwork done by AI. Thank you. Yeah, I think they're really great perspectives. Great, thank you. What role should AI play in the classroom, though? And how can it complement traditional teaching methods? We hear a lot of teachers who get very afraid when they hear about AI. And I've just seen a wonderful talk from a young man in the Global Innovation Field Trip who's developed this wonderful AI system to help young people to differentiate in the classroom so that the learners who are needing bespoke support in their learning, they can use this AI tool. And he explained that when he's been discussing that with teachers, there's a lot of barriers there and teachers are afraid that that's going to take over their role. So this is something that I think a lot of educators need to hear. What role do we think AI could play in the classroom and how can it complement the traditional teaching method? So we're not just completely scrapping one method and bringing something else in new. What are your ideas on that? It would be interesting, especially to hear from educators and people who are working with school-aged children on that question. Anuradha, thank you.
Hi, thank you for that question, Melissa. So as I told you, I'm into film and education. So in our classrooms, we tell the students to use the correct prompts. So the correct prompts are the ones which will actually help them make the discussion guides for the particular competency which we are looking for. Like in our field, we have attitudes, communication, and ethics and empathy. So for that, they need to choose the correct prompts in the AI set so that they can use it in their classroom discussions. Thank you.
Oh, I think that focus on, I like to call it prompt craft. I agree that the way that the prompt craft skill is used and how well a young person's prompt craft skills are being developed will determine how well they use the AI and how ethically they use it. Thank you so much for that. And then Fatima, could you help to contribute to that, please?
Yes, I have similar opinion that prompt crafting is a skill that needs to be taught to all learners at this point of time because that will teach them how to use AI creatively and use it for critical thinking and not just for finding answers. They need to know how to refine their prompts and also question AI on the output being generated. And at the end, humans need to add their own thinking to the output that's being generated by AI. You can't just really exactly use what is generated by AI. It should be tested for biasness. It should be tested for. So there are ethical consideration also that needs to be kept in mind when using AI generated content, and our students needs to be aware of that as well. So I don't think AI can replace teachers. However, it can be a thinking partner in the classroom, help guiding, supporting students, help personalizing, learning pathways for them, and can be used in a very, very creative and innovative way if you want.
Thank you. Radhakrishnan.
Yeah, I somehow feel AI should play a multifold role when it comes to a classroom or the infrastructure of a classroom itself. So when I say multifold, AI should be playing the educator role while using the service while the cognitive learning platforms are built. AI should play an assessor role while evaluating, the marks of the students or the basic skill sets of the students, which is getting accumulated. And I also believe that AI should also give a conclusion to this overall infrastructure of the classroom, which includes the tutor, educator, which also includes the student. Finally, AI should also be an integral platform where the parents come back to the school or the classroom, and there is some kind of enablement. Maybe I'm unable to phrase it in a single word. There is some kind of advanced enablement which is also needed. So that's my humble opinion.
Thank you. You've all kind of mentioned the importance of the way that we train the young people, how teachers train the young people. So just moving on from that, how can educators stay updated and confident in using these AI tools in their teaching practice? Has anyone got any ideas on how educators can stay updated and how they can remain confident so that they can keep doing that? They can keep supporting learners and feeling confident themselves and helping the young learners to be confident in the way that they use the AI. Paula?
If teachers or educators or administrators are using it themselves and they're finding problems that in their workflows or in their interests that they are leveraging AI to help solve and collaborate with, then they're going to be staying current on the tools that are out there and understand how to apply it then to the context of the classroom or their role in education. So it's a matter of staying active yourself. As with any other tool or technique, you need to continue your practice and develop it and stay aware. And then forums and panels and things like this where we stay connected in a community and share these resources are also an excellent way to build confidence and also to have that collaborative, collective intelligence ourselves in bringing it for our students.
Support networks in education are so important, aren't they? Galit, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I totally agree with Paula. You said all what I wanted to say, but I just want to add that it depends on the teachers themselves. If they are curious, if they want to learn, to grow, and it starts from them. Then if they do want, there is, many platforms. In Israel, it's very popular, the WhatsApp groups for teachers, to teach teachers. They share a lot of tools and courses and many free Zoom sessions or how to teach, how to do. So it depends on their curiosity.
Yeah, I think quite often with any new thing that comes into education, unless it's something that's government mandated, then it kind of comes down to the teachers' attitudes, doesn't it? I totally agree with that. Antonius?
Yeah, I think what the educators can do is start simple, like to understand more basic. If we are talking about AI that really related to prompting and etc. So I think educators need to understand the basic of it. And then after that, keep updating and then contextualizing the knowledge into the classroom and also what's happened around the students and also the environment. So I think it would be good for teachers to use AI and keep updating with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonius. And I know that we have some people here who are using and have been for a while using AI in their classrooms. So it'd be really nice if some of you could share any successful examples that you've seen or you've tried when you've used AI to personalize learning for students. Has anyone got any examples to share with us where you've used AI and it's been really successful and it's personalized the learning? Thank you, Anuradha.
Yeah, thank you so much. In our medical school, which is in the western part of India, that is Gujarat, here we are into creative, creative activities like making of thalidomide memorials. So it has really helped the students, to segregate the various themes for making the memorials in a short time and then work on it. Like we had thalidomide is basically, for everyone just to know, that thalidomide is a drug which led to teratogenicity in the females. That's way back in 1956. So we created a theme of thalidomide memorial, that is pedagogies of joy and emotion for the students. And there were many activities in lieu of that, that is making a wall magazine, writing poetry, discussing about the history and the timeline. So all that help was sorted with the AI, by using AI. So that is how we used it, and it really became a success. We got a very good prize in the USMLE competition also with that. So we had a really good experience with that.
Wow,
Thank you.
thank you. That was very interesting. Aisha.
Yeah, there is a lot of examples where AI has assisted, and we have been successful in helping the so in the past, like we have to read a lot of magazines or books to do our research work, but now it's just about the prompt. We just have to master the prompt and our research is done. And besides this, there is a lot of examples like a home business. If someone wants to run a home business, he just want to run a kind of open a use AI to open his application or any website where he can make business. And I have there are a lot of businesses which I have heard learned, and who are running their businesses successfully using AI due to home business, just a house working woman, and they are running their businesses just because of this AI, and they are being successful. So it's kind of good to see how AI is impacting the people and they are being successful.
Yeah, I've noticed that, certain things. I think back to when I was a younger person, there's no way I could have really thought about setting up any kind of business. It was something that only certain people who could do if they went to university and studied that, or they had a family in business. But now, with the rise of AI, those opportunities are there. That's quite incredible, isn't it? Antonius.
Yeah, we have some interesting things when we run the program for Southeast Asia students. So we are running a creativity and innovation thing. So one of the things that may take long time is when they are want to do visualizing their idea before they do prototyping. So in this occasion, we try to use AI to help the students to bring them out to visualize what they imagine and what they want to do and what is the form of the innovation that they want. So it's really help and then bring them more opportunities to understand more the problem and then how they can propose with the solution.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Antonius. Galit.
I since I run hackathons, I found that in every hackathon we have mentors that guide the teams. We have mentors that guide the teams, and we have limited the resources of mentors because they all are busy. They work. Then I found that I developed, with AI mentor. I know that we as teachers, we want to use AI so to make it easier for us and less work. And this by developing such a AI mentor for each hackathon, because each hackathon has a different topic. I need to define it and develop it from scratch. It's a lot of work, but it has amazing effect during the hackathon, because now they have a dedicated mentor for each team according to their capabilities.
Thank you. Fatima.
Yes, I would like to add to this that there are many AI tools available at the moment, from ranging from AI for having engagement in your classroom, AI for having assessments in your classroom, AI for for personalized learning as to offer challenge and support, AI for inclusive students in your classroom. It just depends, and I've been using variety of tools so far, and all are unique, all are very, very, it just depends on which one you use where and which one interests your students, engages your student well. I would like to name a few. For example, you have Wayground. You can generate quizzes for students, and you can have accommodation options that you can personalize for your students use. You have QtiePod, which again, you can use it for asking questions in the classroom, and then it will, once the student enter their answer, the AI can generate personalized feedback for them there and then. So that's an amazing and quick example of using AI tools in the classroom, as well as we have many more examples. Canva is there for creativity. We have Microsoft have a lot of embedded tools now, like reading coach, speaker progress, speaking coach. Those are really, really interesting and engaging tools that can bring life to your, bring some energy to your classrooms and can help support a student's progress.
Thank you. My favorite use of AI so far has been to use blockade labs and get learners to create, put prompts in to create virtual worlds, and then to put the VR headsets on and walk around those worlds. So I've been working with some English teachers who've been doing some topics that they sometimes find quite challenging to inspire young people in, like the Anglo-Saxons topic or certain literature books that English teachers have been teaching. And they've got their children to create those worlds, an Anglo-Saxon village or the set of a particular book. I think To Kill a Mockingbird, where they could walk into the courtroom and they could speak to all the characters as well. And then it just totally inspired those learners that are not so engaged in just sitting and looking at text. So that my favorite use is blockade labs, virtual worlds, and the VR headsets to really immerse learners and help them to create their own worlds that they can immerse themselves in. But there are just so many great tools and more new ones coming out, which is great. And it's great that educators are starting to use them. So this is all very positive, but we do all know that we do get these concerns from other educators, colleagues, and even from parents as well about the use of AI. Jake said he was starting off really negative. So how do we address people like Jake and these parents and colleagues who are fearing AI, fearing that it might replace humans or teachers? How do we address them? What do we say? What do we do? How do we change mindsets and move things forwards? Radhakrishnan.
I will try to be very honest here on my opinion. The primary reason being, see, technology is always concerning and confusing as and when it advances, is my humble opinion, although I come from a technology background. So there is going to be concern, there is going to be confusions, there is going to be complaints which will be floated between, the educators, parents, or anybody for that matter. How do you handle was your question. So to answer it on a precision scale, it's going to continue like this. 100%, we may not be able to 100% convince, and it's going to definitely advance a lot. So my single view of answer is, we have to educate, create a lot of awareness, and we will also have to ensure there is a maturity modeling built in persons who are receiving the AI service. As I said, it could be an evaluator, tutor, or the educator or the parents. We need to build a kind of a maturity modeling so that anything in future, we can build it with confidence and build it with more precision scale. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I've just noticed that Richali is here to join us now. Would you mind introducing yourself for us? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry, my baby doesn't feel well. I'm happy to be here. My name is Racheli. I'm Armenio and I'm from Israel. And I work in the academy in Efrata College as head of Department of Non-Formal Education. And I work as a director in non-formal education in Israel. So I truly believe, like, my passion is in helping educators use AI and digital tools together. And if I will try to answer to your past question, so I always say that we don't need to protect the students from the technology. We need to empower them with the technology. So I'm always talking with the educators and parents about using AI in responsibility and in awareness, and I'm trying always to bridge and to connect them to use AI tools.
Thank you, Rikali. Yeah, one of the things that I say, as much as any of us may not like the rise of a new technology, we may not like the rise of AI, whether we like it or not, it's happening, and we can decide to let our students be behind, or we can decide to support them to embrace it and to take the positives of it and become responsible users of that technology. Thank you. I think Fatima was next on the register for hands up. Fatima, have you still got your hand up?
Yes,
Or
I think it is very, very natural for parents and even staff, even educators and students to feel nervous about AI. I think organizations are also looking into the policies which will make it more ethical and more, all the privacy concerns will be catered to before we introduce AI to students. That's very, very important. And I think it's high time that we all upskill ourselves, including parents needs to upskill themselves in order to be able to support their children and know what they are learning about. Because it's similar to any ed tech innovation that has happened in the previous years, where a new technology has launched and the parents have shown concern, whether it's a new online game, whether it's any other web search or website which they are having concerns about. It's pretty similar to that, but then yes, they need to, everybody, in my opinion, needs to upskill themselves in order to make sure that we all are prepared for the future, and preparing our students for the future ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, Paula, I think your hand was up as well. Did you still want to add something to that?
Sure, thank you. I wanted to call back to, I think it was Anuradha that was talking about competencies. And this goes into the discussion about preparing the students for the future. So moving from skills to competency, and when you're focused on competencies like ethics, like empathy, and cultural sensitivities, and we are empowering them to use the technology in ways that are meaningful, that are grounded with integrity, then they are prepared for the future. And the final thought is that what helps me is to go and listen to people that are a lot smarter than me and to hear about what they're excited about and what they're concerned about. And it helps me to temper my relationship with my worries or my excitement.
Thank you, Paula. I like that perspective. Susie.
Hi, thank you. So my thought on it is that AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And so I think one of the things is to really normalize it for people. Everyone is so afraid of this word AI. And I mean, you can go on, for example, Chat GPT and push a button and you can just have a conversation with it. And so I think trying to normalize it for parents, and a big part of how you can normalize it is a lot of parents are stuck as kids continue to get into higher grade levels and they don't know how to support their student. Well, now you can break down the concepts that your student is struggling with, and it will help you help them teach it step by step. And so it's really empowering. And I think it's all about, with anything we do, messaging and marketing it to parents, or give them a worksheet on, let's try it together. This is a collaborative project for you and your student that you both have to work on together. Parent, you have to break down the concept, and then you have to help the student teach it, and the student, you have to think outside the box. And I think with a collaboration, it really kind of brings everyone together and makes it less scary.
Thank you so much for that, Susie. That kind of leads on to my next question. So people who've got their hands up might want to keep their hands up. How do you balance the AI assisted learning with critical thinking and creativity development? So we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Some people were starting to say how by using AI, it means we have more ability to spend our time doing creative thinking. But can we just go into a bit more detail with that, and what are people's perspectives on how you can balance AI assisted learning with critical thinking and that creativity development? Nishka.
So in a few of my university classes, we have this thing called an AI contract, and basically it's the students write up to the teacher what they want to use AI for. So in my English class, we have sort of a thing where we talk about we want to use AI to help us create ideas, but not to write the paper for us. And I think that's a big gap people need to understand, especially as students ourselves, that it's important to know where to draw the line in AI, that it is really important to be able to have a tool to help us find ideas, find ways to do research, and to help us find resources. But I do think there's a line where we use that AI to start becoming our own person. And I think that people is what scares a lot of people, I think, is that they think that line between creativity and doing it ourselves disappears. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think AI is a great way to actually be able to use your own ideas, but then actually be able to have help on how to develop them, how to make them better than we already could by ourselves. So I think definitely that having that line is really important, and knowing where to kind of draw it is very important.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Nishka. Susie.
I love a lot of what you just said. I am a firm believer in when you're using AI, you have to come up with a question to start talking to AI with. And so that initial discussion by asking a question then takes you down, here's a list of answers. Well, I'm not done now. Now I have to think, how do I interact further? And I continue down this path trying to figure out where is my end goal. Maybe it came out of a place where I wasn't originally planning, but now that's really intriguing and now I want to dig into it more. And it continues down that. I need to prompt it again because now I want more information on this direction, whereas maybe I didn't see that initially. So I think it's constant, you're constantly having to think the direction you want to take it. And I think that's where creativity stays in it, because AI wouldn't do that naturally on its own. And you know ultimately where you want to end. So that's my thoughts on it.
Thank you, Susie. Yeah, I always kind of think a little bit along the lines of when the first cake making machine was designed, but the cake that comes out of it at the end is only as good as the ingredients and the percentages of those ingredients that have been designed by a product development scientist who's then programmed that and put that into the cake making machine. The cake at the end is only as good and as creative and as delicious as the creativity and knowledge that has been put into it from the food scientist, who may not have then made it themselves. It was done by the machine, but it's I always think of it in that kind of way. Thank you for that, Susie. Aisha.
I think for this, AI is a great way to use the knowledge, but we shouldn't depend on it, because there is a lot of, we can't say that AI is giving us the correct information. There is some biasness in that as well. If we search of some political events or some gender, there will be some neutral responses. We have to use that our creativity on. We have to do our research on our own. Though AI can give us some responses instantly, but we have to work on our own, and we have to do some little bit research so that we can make something unique and creativity of. So and it depends on us how we utilize this, because at the end AI is also being controlled by the humans, not like some robots are doing behind the backs. So we have to use it creatively, and we have to use everything. We have to research our own, but also use AI with greater research and prompts.
Thank you, Aisha. Rikali.
So I agree with Susie and with Aisha, and I really think that the balance comes when AI starts the conversation, but the humans continue the conversation. And I really teach all the time my students to compare and to add the emotion. And we are speaking about that AI can generate words, but only people can generate the meaning and the interpretation.
Thank you. Anuradha.
So hi, I want to share with everyone that recently we conducted a cinema education session on the movie Gifted Hands. That was about speaking about a pediatric neurosurgeon, that is Dr. Ben Carson. Now, how AI assisted tools helped us in making the discussion prompts for the students. And then we created the small groups for the students. And on those discussion prompts, students themselves discuss the further content about the movie. So it saves our time, plus systematically it gives us the various discussion prompts for the guided discussion. And that is where I feel that in our cinema education, AI assisted learning is a blessing for us actually. Because in a short time, otherwise it would have taken me such a long time, jotting down all the various prompts related to professionalism, related to personality, related to the personal growth of the character. So when we do the character biopsy, AI tools are helping us in that way. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you. And the last perspective on this question, Galit.
I think in entrepreneurship education and hackathons, it's very easy because at the end they need to stand in front of the class audience and present their ideas, what they have been working on. And I always tell them that, look, you can do everything with AI, from the ideation to the presentation, okay? But we will notice if it's yours or it's of the AI, because when you stand in front of an audience and pitch your idea and it's not yours, we can feel it. No matter what, we can feel it.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times. Yeah, a lot of educators who say at the end of the day, if you're a good educator, you will feel it, you'll see it, you'll know if that's the student's work or not. Yeah, I think that is one thing that we have to remember, our human intuition, isn't it? That is very valuable. It looks like we've had somebody else join us. Tywin, would you like to introduce yourself? Tywin, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hello. My name is Tywin, and I'm a young innovator from the Philippines. I'm actually here for the student mashup.
Okay, you've come in early into our AI discussion. If you do think you've got something interesting to help with answering our questions, feel free to put your hand up. I've got a question now that is mostly for AI university academics or people who are already working in AI industries or thinking of developing AI industries. What are the emerging AI technologies that you believe will have the biggest impact on education in the next 5 to 10 years? Radhakrishnan.
Thanks for this question. Actually, this one was very important because we are talking a lot about AI. I always ask this question to most of my panelists. Why did we call this as AI instead of CI? What I meant as CI is collaborative intelligence, because this artificial intelligence was never built without humans and without any kind of algorithm. I always say, why was this called as AI instead of a CI itself in the industry? Anyways, that question is still left unanswered. So to answer your question, what we look at is, I think there will be a lot of chatbots which would come into picture down the line in next 5 to 10 years. There would be a lot of real-time analytics dashboard which would come into the school, which would come for the parents. And the education model itself is going to shift towards a teacher-student AI model, more than a AI specific model. There will be a lot of customizations which I see, which will ultimately result in immersive education with the students, with the teacher, with the parents.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we've got an extra person in the equation. It's the AI person. Thank you, Paula.
Well, I wouldn't dare to call out a specific capability or feature because tomorrow something new is going to come up. But I would say that because we can do just about anything with AI, the question really is, what should we do? And so really falling back onto what is going to lead to the greater good. How do we use our abilities ethically for the sake of humanity, and making sure that human imagination is core to what we're doing. I think that's the empowering part of it. So I don't focus on a specific feature or capability, although I do really enjoy AI agent building, there's going to be progress that we can't even fathom.
Yeah, things that we tools that we don't even know are going to be existed right now, are going to exist in the future. We just don't know right now anything. And technology is just advancing so fast, and AI is developing so fast, and the AI tools are developing so fast. Aisha, have you got some other ideas for us?
Yeah, I think AI will change the dynamic between the student and teacher, because AI is making everyone more advanced and more everyone will think about more knowledgeable. So in this dynamic, everyone should be trained, especially the educators should be trained, more trained, so that they can have more grasp of the AI tools, and teach the students about them. Instead, that students are more advanced, and they can just change the dynamic of the in the future.
Thank you, Aisha. And Susie?
One of the great things that's going to come out of this is it's already starting is, for example, running lab simulations on data points that you know, and now you can explore, have AI do deep research or explore potentials in solving things in medical issues that are happening, or allowing students to be able to simulate an environment or practice. How would you go out and do like a speech class, for example? How would you do your pitch and have AI critique it? I mean, so there's so many different ways where if you set up the scenarios that AI can help students advance and prepare for future skills.
Thank you, Susie. So let's move a little bit to the student perspective now. We have got two students in here, I think. How do you feel that AI tools help or hinder your learning experience? Oh, we've lost our other student. We've got Nishka, but our younger student has left now. So I think this is down to you, Nishka. How do you feel that AI tools help or hinder your learning experience? But everybody else, I'm sure you speak to your students, and also you do quite often put yourself in their shoes to try and imagine how they're feeling and thinking. So really, this question is for anyone to answer. How do we think that students feel AI tools help or hinder their experiences? Have they told you anything, confided in you about that? Nishka, if you could start us off.
Yeah, sure. I think that as I went from like high school to college, I think that answer changed for me. When I was in high school, I think for me it was very new with the emergence of AI into like education itself. So I think it was really scary at first because I think some people had an upper hand per se. They knew more about AI. They knew how to use it. They would do assignments a lot faster than me and be more efficient at it than me. But I think as you go to college, I think you realize that it really is beautiful because it helps so much with the area of confusion. So there are a lot of times in college I look at my assignments and have no idea where to start. And that isn't because like the assignment itself is hard, but it's because the instructions are weird, or maybe I just have like a blackout in my like, mind. So I think the AI is really great to help you have a starting point with how to think about an assignment, how to go forth about something. And also I think just to be able to explain to you things better. So there are a lot of times like in my math classes that I'm not getting a concept really well. I asked my professor, they might not be able to explain it to me. So I think I asked ChatGPT to break it down for me like I am a freshman who has no idea. And I think that idea of having it prompt you to teach you better is a really helpful tool. So I think that there are a lot of ways, as you guys were mentioning before, to use AI to help you. And I think it really is beautiful to be able to help it to teach you things and be able to kind of collaborate with you, not for you.
Mm. I remember back my days in university, when I needed to write any of my essays, we'd have to go to the library. We would have to search on the library system for books that would touch on the topic that we were trying to answer a question about. Then we'd have to physically walk around, find that book if it was available, or then go to the receptionist and ask to be on a waiting list for it. You'd get those books, then you'd try and find the right sections in them that might give you some ideas and some help, go through all of those books, then put your ideas together. And this is like a huge task. And then with the rise of Google searches, it made it a little bit easier, but still you have your list of loads of different websites. You need to visit all of those websites and pull out the bits that are useful for you. And now with AI, it's almost as though you can just make your own bespoke book. That book that you would have liked to have found in the library that had all the information in that you needed to read to get the knowledge to help you to write that essay. You can now make that bespoke book without taking the trip to the library and without doing all of that trawling and then being on waiting lists waiting for books. That's one big way that I look at it and see the difference between how it can really help a student, a university student in particular. Radhakrishnan.
Actually, I shouldn't have lifted my hands, to be honest, because you hijacked through your response itself. So,
Do you remember
but
doing the same thing?
yeah, you almost summarized what I was about to say. But anyways, nevertheless, the thing is, I kind of liked one of the panelists. I think it was Anuradha or Fatima. I'm not sure. One of them were mentioning about their way of dealing the courses, the medicine courses, etc. Right? See, this is exactly how AI is helping a lot. The hindrances are always spoken. If you honestly ask between the parents, teachers, and the educators and the students are going to talk a lot about how AI is helping. Today, a simple or a complex mathematical problem is clearly given with step-by-step instruction, wherein, from my age, let me go back 25 years or 30 years back, there was a teacher, there was a tuition after the school, and post that I will have to come and read. Today, with a very clear prompt in any of the AI service, we are getting the entire step-by-step instructions to the student, which is totally, to be honest, it is saving a lot of time for the parents who were sitting with the students in the last 20, 30 years. They used to sit next to the student. They used to make the students to understand if the school was not able to give a full explanation. So it was taking the time of parents as well. Ultimately, it built up pressure if both are working parents. I think all of these simple factors have really eased out to the student, and the students are becoming self-capable is what I would humbly say. I can talk about it for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes for this one simple question, but still I wanted to cut it short, give, so that other panelists can express their, comments.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there. I used to a few years back with my children, if they did a maths question, they could mark it themselves, they could look at the mark scheme, but sometimes they would find out they'd got it wrong, but they didn't know why. So I would need to then try and go through it myself to then answer them.
Exactly.
But now
Exactly.
I find that they just go onto ChatGPT and say, this was the question, this was the mark scheme, I got it wrong. What should I have done what did I need to know, and what should I have done to get this question correct? And it's great that children are starting to do that themselves as well without being guided to do that. I didn't tell my children to do that, but I
Yes.
see them doing it and I'm like, oh, fantastic, I can carry on cooking. Paula.
I just wanted to chime in with an atypical example. My husband's a musician and he's working with adult guitar students in developing songs. And they have been very afraid of AI. And finally, one of them tried Suno. And what it does is it gives the abilities that they don't have. They've worked really hard and they've got their skill level up to a certain level, but maybe they just don't have a singing voice, or maybe they're not a soloist. And it's able to bring their ideas to life. And that has unlocked their creativity. They're writing more songs than they ever would have. And as we know, that the more you do something, the better you become. And they're excited to share what they've done because it doesn't have to be them with their skill level that it's frustrating. And so for students that can't draw or are not having the abilities to visualize something or compose something, it is assistive technology. Just like we have assistive technologies for other reasons, and it augments not our intelligence as so much as our imaginations. And that is the key because it inspires people to do more and share more.
Yeah, thank you for that, Paula. We've been using Sound Raw the AI tool SoundRaw in our AI Academy, and the learners have been coming up with wonderful pieces of music that they've developed themselves. And that's a tool that musicians in the musical industry are using on a regular basis to help them to be able to make more music and to make it exactly how they want to use it. And there's a lot of musicians who are seeing it in a very positive light. Thank you for that. Anuradha.
So yes, in our medical school, I'm seeing that the high performer students, they are having less apprehension of using the AI assisted tools. And many of the students who are high performers, what they do is they are also preparing their effective learning strategies. They are customizing with the help of the AI assisted. Suppose somebody is having a predominance for visual learning. So, they are getting the entire answer in a structured format, how to use a flashcard, how to use a mind map, how to use pictorials, and so on. So customization of the effective learning strategies in the medical students also is a great help from the AI tools.
Thank you. And I'm just going to put out one last question now. I think this is quite important. What measures do you think are necessary to ensure that equity and access so that AI benefits all students, not just those in well-resourced schools? Specifically, it came across in one of the earlier presentations today. One of the judges started to ask one of the inventors about the digital divide. And what about those communities where they don't have access to AI? What measures can we put? What measures can we come up with to try and ensure that equity of access to these AI tools to ensure it benefits everyone? Radhakrishnan.
I think that's exactly is going to be the starting point of where we are hearing AI for good. I'm sure there is going to be AI for free. I'm sure there is going to be AI for next generation. I'm sure there is going to be AI for X, Y, Z reasons going forward. So, there is going to be a lot of this which would come up in the industry, which would address the question which you have said. And there is going to be a lot of advancement which would help the students, because there are the so-called, which you rightly said, the not so well-resourced tools, schools and, situations and districts and councils. What do we do about it? As I said, once the maturity of, the AI has just started off right now, since 5 years or so. I'm sure while it matures, there's going to be a lot of other cognitive integration which would come. And then this is typically going to become like a Google replacement for a Google search itself going forward. So I believe the not so well resourced school also will have something which would be coming up. Maybe I'm not able to phrase it in a single word, but there will be a lot of AI for good, AI for free, which would be coming up in the near future.
Yeah, I really hope so, and I really hope there's a lot more of that. Aisha.
I think I agree with Radhakrishnan that today AI is just improving and it's giving a lot of hectic routine, and it's making most of the students are conscious that how we are using it because of lower rural area from being that. But I believe if there are a lot of different free tools which the educators can help them or the students can use so that they can access to the advanced technology, and so like there is a Grammarly which students can use, and there is also Canva, and there are different AI tools, free tools which can be easily accessible. Besides this, the educators can collaborate with different NGOs so that they can fund the students and help them to focus more on to learn more on about the AI and tools, and work more on the AI, so and they don't feel left out.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a really insightful discussion. And just before everyone does leave, I think it'd be wonderful if everyone could put their email addresses or their LinkedIn profile links into the chat box, because I think there's probably a lot of us here who would like to continue to collaborate on this topic. But thank you very much for all of your time and all of your insights. Thank you.